today I want to talk to you about the importance of just giving a little bit more. What's a little bit? And I don't really know in this case, but you will know. And so, what does it mean to give a little bit more in your days into what you're working on and how that can pay a massive dividend? So I'll get into the details, but I want to start by telling you I'm Connie Jo Holmes. I'm the founder of Be You to Be Full Hypnosis and Coaching, and my mission with my company is to teach individuals how to confidently and courageously move from reacting to life to owning your life. So the other day, because I'm shooting this kind of towards the end of January, but there is a group that I meet with monthly, and I give presentations. And so knowing that it was the new year, I thought, well, of course, let's kind of have it be the new year, and like, what goals do you have? Let's look at how far you've come from the previous year, that type of thing. And so I decided to go back to a presentation I gave a year ago just to see if there was anything in there that might spark an idea for me or something. And I was reminded of something that I had read quite some time ago. And it was talking about the difference between, so what is the difference between 211 Fahrenheit versus 212 Fahrenheit? So the answer is boiling water. So water doesn't boil at 211, but as soon as it hits 212, it starts to boil. And so with boiling water is what creates steam, and then steam is what can move a locomotive. And so I know that might be, just a little analogy over here, which is fine, but it made me want to shoot this video and to ask you, what are you doing that is hovering around at that 211, Fahrenheit point, that if you just, hung in there a little bit longer, a little bit deeper, a little bit more regularly, with more dedication, anything like that. What are you doing that's hanging at 211 that if you gave just a little bit more would just boom, take it over to 212, and you would have boiling water, and you would have that steam and that momentum in your life and behind your goals. And so, how sometimes you hear people say too, like, so many people are working towards their dream, but they give up on it after not reaching success for a certain amount of time. But if people knew that they hung on just a little bit longer, success was just one more door knock. It was one more rep. It was one more mile, it was one more day, it was one more sales call, one more whatever. And so that's where I want to ask you to think about, where you're at in your life right now. And so I want to tell you, so again, with it being January, as I do this every year, I look at the goals that I set for myself in, the previous year, and I'll look at them and be like, oh, how did I make out with that and stuff? And I do look at them, at least quarterly. So I kind of knew along the year where I was with things, but it's that final evaluation, if you were, and also to determine what goals are going to carry forward with me in 2023. And so, yeah, there were some that, I did really well on. There were some that I'm like, why did I even write it? I barely did anything towards it. Some things I could have done better, that type of thing. And instead of beating myself up over it and feeling disempowered, I actually looked at it like, this is data. This is data to me, because the things I did really well, that tells me something. That tells me that, I had that steam going. So that steam, I had that passion, that dedication, that desire to take myself from 211 to 212 to create that boiling water, to create steam. So, hey, maybe that's what I need to be doing more of. So that informed me. The things that I kind of did okay, those are the things to evaluate and say, all right, why was I just okay on that? And, were there some things that I was fiddling around with that I shouldn't have been fiddling around with, that if I would have dropped those and applied that time towards this, that I could have then taken myself from a 200 up to a 212 Fahrenheit, to create that boiling water. So it's a really great time to really stop and analyze these kind of things. And then wherever you're at with that, those answers go on to your goals for the next year. And so this is what I was sharing with this audience that I was talking to. But like I said, in prepping for it, I came across this, this analogy of, the Fahrenheit and creating boiling water, and then that creates steam. And I thought, this is a really good video topic. So sharing that with you, but also, as I always do, I like to encourage you to look at those things in your life. What were the things that you desired for in 2022, but you just didn't reach it? And to sit with that, do not beat yourself up. That is not the point of this. That serves nothing. But sit with it and find out, why did I not? Maybe you didn't because you were putzing around with like these other smaller goals that really didn't matter, but you're giving your attention there. So, maybe this year, give your attention to this. Maybe it's a time to really truly evaluate your life and to say, you know what? I am spending way too much time on social media. I am watching way too much TV. I am allowing this friendship from long ago to spend hours in my week to call me and just gossip, and I'm just not into that anymore. What is it? What's going on in your life, but what are those things in your life that you can evaluate and say, you know what, all of that collective time that I was spending on junk, oh my gosh, I could take that collective time, or even parts of it, and put it back into me, and that could be just what I need to get myself from 211 Fahrenheit to 212 Fahrenheit, to create my boiling water, to create that steam, to create my locomotive for 2023. So I'll leave you with that, and I hope you ponder on that. And when you actually apply this theory to your goals in 2023 and you're knocking them out of the park, be sure to circle back with me, because I want to be right there to congratulate you and cheer you on for even more success. So, all right, I hope that was helpful. If you found value in this, please like it, comment, share, and also do not forget to subscribe. I can't talk. All right, thank you so much.